Hello everybody and welcome to another video with me, Ryan the Dorkman, as always, and we're going to jump straight into this video because it's going to be pretty quick, so try and keep up. So this is the second video in looking at different themes and archetypes within the 5th edition book. So I've got Volo's Guide to Monsters here, and I've got the Monster Manual up here. This page is already open, so I don't lose it. And this page is bookmarked, so I look pretty good. So apparently I don't, so I just gave you all my hidden secrets. So yes, so we're going to look at the Devourer, which, as far as I know, is a new monster in Volo's Guide to Monsters. Look at this very nice book. Such a perv. Let's flick it open. One hand of God. Or in this case, the DM. So the Devourer. So what things do the Devourer and the Wight have in common? Well, the Devourer is very closely connected to Orcus, and you can see in the stats, if you pause the video, etc., that this individual is a large fiend, and the Wight up there is undead. So the fiend, the Devourer, is very close to Orcus, so this usually is it dwells within the lower planes with Orcus. So Orcus, being the demon lord of the undead, can make one of these devourers, or whatever you might want to call them in your campaign, to try and throw off your veteran players. Hint. These are made by uplifting a lesser demon by using the essence of another lesser demon, thus by combining them together and making this super or higher level demon. So that's how they are made. So Orcus personally makes them themselves, so they have a very close connection to Orcus. So they usually typically reside within the lower planes. However, Orcus can use his abilities and such like to put these on the material plane. But when he does so, and it takes a considerable amount of effort for him to do so, there is a particular and a specific reason for him doing so. So there will be a goal destined for this particular Devourer to complete and, act in its sole purpose. Yeah, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't eat, doesn't need to breathe, it doesn't need to drink, it just keeps going. It is like the Terminator of D&D, albeit not robotic. He is a fiend. So the imagery in the Volo's Guide is pretty cool. It's got I think it's a elf in his rib cage, and one of the Devourer's niches is that when he reduces. Nope, he can trap the person inside his chest and restrain them. If they die whilst being stuck inside his chest, he can turn them into a Wight. It all dictates on how many hit dice this individual has. So if it's low, it could be a zombie. If it's mid, it could be a ghoul, or if it's higher, it could be a Wight. So if it's the higher one, it'll turn into one of these. Okay, so we stick with the Devourer for the moment. Excuse me. So the Devourer is a CR rating 13 creature, and it has some immunities and some resistance. It doesn't have any vulnerabilities, and it is telepathic, so it can read surface thoughts. So it has a very good range on that, so it can read presences of other entities, as well as the fact that it doesn't rest. It just, if it's got a purpose, it goes and it tries and finish what Orcus has told it to do. I love this creature, and I will be putting it in my campaign at some other point. Now, with the Devourer, skeletons, zombies, ghouls, ghasts, shadows are all drawn to the Devourer because of its connection to Orcus. So wherever this goes, and it can go anywhere, these entities are drawn to it. So he's never alone. He's never alone, and you should never put them alone. You should never put big baddies alone. you should always put them with little minions because it makes them so much more terrifying. So, right. So this is in the Monster Manual, just like the Volo's Guide. You can pick it up at your local gaming store or at online retail such as Chaos Cards. So the right is similar. It's similar sort of thematic theme to it. It has life drain, whereas the Devourer has soul rend. So what it does is requires the PC in particular to make a Constitution save or a save of some description, and if they fail, they lose health, and if it's slain, it basically comes back as another right within 24 hours. Yep. So rights are very nice for party wipes. So if you're unlucky enough to have a right that party wipes the team or is left standing after the party does wipe, the right can thematically resurrect that whole party, and that party becomes bad guys, evil characters for another campaign. Maybe a couple of months down the line you throw it in and go, oh, you start describing your players' old characters and such like. The rights, however, do keep their sentience, so they're not driven. They don't have a single goal, and they're not driven to an objective. So they keep all their memories, they keep their personalities more or less, but they are turned undead, and they have, they gain certain things, etc. But they're only a challenge rating 3, so they're quite low down, so you can have them in groups, hence having them as a party, as an evil party. However, when Orcus calls for their subservience, they have no choice. Their individual entity either gets written off and they become mindless automatons, or they keep their individual identity, but they are driven by the most primal and dominating thing, motivation to pursue that goal and that end objective. But other than that, unless Orcus doesn't need them at that time, they are there to pursue their own things and their own desires. So Orcus is the god of undeath. So what is his theme? His theme is decay, and all things must turn to dust. So that is the theme between these two. And if you notice, the two of them, the right and the Devourer, have abilities that drain life away from the playable characters. And everything must turn to dust. Orcus is not interested in having the smaller races and ruling over them and having his own dominion. He has his own dominion. He wants to destroy and corrupt the material plane and snuff it out of existence because that's his jam. You can see that thematically, visually, both those characters are different to the other, to the Incubus and the Succubus and the Cambion. They're different physically, mechanically, and thematically. They're completely different. So it all depends on what kind of campaign that you're running, what kind of encounter that you're running, what kind of theme that you want to go for that evening or for that campaign. So I hope this video has given you some insight, and my waffle hand waving has not made you sick. But alas, I digress. I will do another theme with some monsters. So if you want to see anything in particular, write down below in the comment section what you want to see, and I'm more than happy to do so. Or if you want me to talk about something specific in either one of these two books, I'm more than happy to do that as well. So there's nothing really much else to say apart from this is Ryan as always. I'll see you in the next video, somewhere around there, and play more games. Be happy, treat each other better, please, especially in the world that we live in today. Try and be kinder to your fellow person. I will see you in the next video. Peace.